oh man, I need to get a new shirt. What's up guys? Hey, it's Colin here, and today we're going to talk about the 6 steps to upgrading your financial blueprint or your financial vibration. So we're going to get into some action steps and some stuff you can do to actually start creating more abundance in your life. So this is really going to be a journaling exercise. So what we're going to do is we're going to first start out, and the first step is assessing our financial comfort zone. So what is our current level of comfort with our finances? So get out a journal and journal this. Think about what range of income feels normal to you. What is the range of income between, where you start feeling panicked and scarcity, but you don't feel necessarily abundant. So it could be anywhere from like a few thousand or to 10,000, whatever your range is, and in between there it just feels normal and comfortable. The low level doesn't feel scarce, it doesn't feel like you're panicking, and the high level doesn't feel like you don't feel excited or overly abundant. So once you do this for your income, do the same thing for your level of cash or savings. Okay, so once you've done that, then the second step is to define your new financial comfort zone. So just kind of like make it up, and the person, I got this exercise from Steve Pavlina, and he suggests doubling the number. And the idea is to actually start shifting that comfort zone to that new level, where when you get below that lower tier, that you start feeling like, oh, a little bit panicked in a way. So it's actually shifting your comfort zone to a completely new level. So the third step is to clarify and accept the consequences of your new blueprint or your new comfort zone or vibration. And essentially what this is that we all have these unconscious fears that internally resist these new changes. Even though we think that having more money will solve all of our problems, there's actually a number of consequences that come with that. So this is an important journal exercise. What you want to do is you want to journal about you want to first imagine what it's like to be making that kind of money and having that kind of money on hand. So put yourself in that perspective. So sit down with a journal and kind of just start, maybe close your eyes, whatever you have to do to really start imagining what it's like to be in that financial zone, this new comfort zone, and then journal about what the consequences are. So, maybe you live in a nicer neighborhood, or maybe you buy a new car or something like that to upgrade yourself. But then there's other consequences. So what are your relationships gonna be like? How is your family gonna react to you? How are your friends gonna react to you? What is, are you gonna have to quit your job? What is the new consequences to actually get to this level? If you're in a dead-end job right now that there's no way you're gonna make that kind of money, then you're gonna have to figure out new skills and get a new job or whatever. So when you're making this shift, when you're thinking about the consequences, you might realize that one of the consequences, you have to gain better skills in a different area. Let's say you're really good at like shoveling gravel or something. Well, there's only so much gravel you can shovel in so much amount of time, and it sort of puts a cap on the amount of income that you make. So you might have to go out and learn new skills. It's not like you just think about this stuff and it happens. You actually have to go out and there's new consequences. Like you might have to get more entrepreneurial. You might have to leverage yourself, or learn to be more creative, or learn to let go a little bit and have someone else help you in what you're doing, and saying, okay, I can't do this all myself. I might need to hire someone or whatever. So just imagine going through your daily routine in this new vibration, this new reality. And can you accept how this will be? Can you accept these new consequences? Can you let certain relationships and friendships go that might not be supportive of this? Okay, so that's the third step, is really journaling about the consequences. So the fourth step is to build the foundation so which this can be supported, this new comfort zone can be supported, because your current reality supports the old reality. So by building the new foundation, you actually have to start letting go of old things that are holding you back in this old comfort zone, and start accepting new things that are going to build and lay the foundation for your new desired comfort zone. So this is the stage where we say no to things that are holding us back and keeping us in that old reality that we want to move away from. This is things like a dead-end job. So are you gonna have to eventually quit this job that's keeping your income as a ceiling? So I know when I wanted to make a new lifestyle switch, my old comfort zone was bartending, and that job that was holding me back. There was no way I was gonna make location independent money, and there was no way I was gonna make over a certain amount. So I had to let that go in order to become financially abundant. And I didn't do that right away. That wasn't like the first step, and I don't recommend that. But recognize that this is gonna be, you're going to have to start, you're gonna have to quit eventually. And so that's when I set, for my experience, I set a date, you know, it was 9 months in advance to when I was gonna quit my job. And that was sort of, I built the scaffolding, I made the commitment, I started telling all my friends, and it was like, okay, I'm doing this. So now I gotta really start pulling this new reality into my reality. So you want to detect the kind of life that's going to or the parts of your life that are going to conflict with this new financial abundance. Make sure to start with the easy changes first, the ones that are low risk. So don't quit your job first, and then eventually start moving into the harder ones. So to give you an example, I made a commitment. So I was doing content writing before I started getting into copywriting, and this is when I made the transition to copywriting is really when my financial abundance sort of kind of exploded a little bit. And I went from, I knew that content writing, I wasn't gonna be able to, I had to let it go. It was something that was holding me back. I wasn't gonna be financially abundant in content writing. So I knew I didn't wanna quit my job, but I started taking less and less work on, and I started taking more copywriting on. So I started switching that balance of just searching for copywriting jobs and taking on anything I could get, because I knew that was gonna provide financial abundance, even if I wasn't making the kind of money that I wanted to right now. So I started content writing less, started copywriting more, and taking on jobs, getting experience, getting paid very little for copywriting. It didn't matter to me because I knew eventually that this was gonna turn into something financially abundant. And then eventually, what happened was just a total switch. It was like, I didn't even need to quit this job. I kind of got like let go. It wasn't my fault, but it was just like the natural order of things. And then I just like I got let go, and then like I got this basically like I got this other gig that was much more financially abundant than, it was basically double of what I was doing before. So this is also an important part of this step, is that you want to make a list of things, the list of changes that you would make if once you start experiencing more of this income and money. So like I said before, with getting a new apartment, you know, you might upgrade your living situation, or you started feeling more abundant and your comfort zone financially was in this new bracket. You might buy a new car or take a trip or whatever you do. So start making a list of things that you can do that reflect this positive change and this positive new reality that you're living in. And if you can't make the changes right away, because sometimes you don't want to like just go out and sign a new lease when you're not 100% sure, this is, I think, a great thing to do is I made this abundance shrine, and it was basically like I made all these pictures of things I wanted to do. I wanted to get this suit, you know, when I was in this new comfort zone. I wanted to like buy this car when I was in the new comfort zone. And then I've got this abundance shrine that I look at periodically, and it's like reminds me of all these things that I want to do, and it gets me more excited. And all these images. So if you can't make the changes right away, then create a shrine of like images, and you know, mine's just on my desktop, and it's this little photo album, and it's like a symbolic change that you're making. All right, so step number 5 is start taking inspired action. So again, you know, things that like I realized that the situation I was in with content writing, it was like, okay, I could be location independent, but I'm not going to make the kind of money that I want, like the abundant income. And so I copywriting just kind of was like this inspired action. It was like, oh, I really like doing this, and there's no income ceiling. And so I started taking the inspired action of learning copywriting and handwriting copy every day and studying these great masters. And then eventually, like, I was inspired to take on new jobs. And it's something that I would say came to me when I was looking for new possibilities, when I was thinking, okay, what's the next step that I can take? Now that I've done this location independent plunge, how can I increase my vitality and my income? So the idea is that to make the old reality less comfortable and the new reality more comfortable. So when you start visualizing this new reality that you live in, and when you start accepting the consequences, then new ideas and things, you'll be making room for new ideas and new flow of inspired actions that you can take to move yourself in this direction. You might notice that new opportunities present themselves now that you've made this internal shift. Your external reality will start reflecting it. And in my case, it was like, I was just like, yes, I'm gonna do copywriting. And I just started taking on Upwork jobs like crazy, and I was getting paid nothing, and I was spending tons of time on it, and I didn't care because I was just like, I wanna get good at this. And I just kept doing it. And then eventually, my reality, then opportunities started popping up that were way better than any content writing gigs I was getting and any jobs that I was hustling for online. It was just like they started popping up. And so I took these opportunities to just really give my best and put my best foot forward in my copywriting work. All right, so then the sixth step is feel grateful for the shift. This is an important step. Is part of abundance is gratitude. That's a huge, huge part of being abundant. So genuine gratitude helps you accept and embrace this new comfort zone and release the old comfort zone. Gratitude will really help you lock in the new changes and prevent you from backsliding into that old reality. So thank you so much for watching. That was the 6 steps to upgrading your financial vibration or your financial blueprint. Make sure to hit the subscribe button below to get tuned in when new videos are coming out on abundance and all that fun stuff. There's links on one side of me of past abundance videos if you need to get caught up on this whole process and kind of doing a linear creating habits of abundance type thing. Next video, we're gonna get more into the habit change and how to create habits that build this foundation and keep you abundant and for a long time. All right, thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.